Mobile games are absolutely crushing it these days, so if it's been a while since you've given them a chance or are on the hunt for your next favorite mobile game, this list does it for you. We're covering games that died out a little bit 5 years ago, but came back really strong within the last year, as well as some new ones for you to check out, and some other mobile games that are just so much fun to play with your friends. In fact, we do game nights here at Funjible Games where we get together with the community and we have a good time, and one that we played recently that we really enjoy because it's just some fun laughs amongst your friends is Brawl Stars. Now, Brawl Stars is just a really fun game to play with your friends. It's not as complicated as other MOBAs like League of Legends. You have your single character and you can level them up and play with unique abilities. Right away with this one, you're dropped into the action. There's no early drawn out gameplay. It's just fun brawling. Brawl Stars owes most of its longevity to Supercell's masterful way of rolling out new content, and it's also consistently rotating game modes. The devs release new characters and tweak existing ones, so the meta always changes. And one of the best parts of Brawl Stars is that new players won't feel completely lost either. The tutorial is quite helpful, and the game itself is quite straightforward. The progression system lets you unlock brawlers, so you don't have to start spending money. There's also a battle pass and cosmetics you can buy, but the core experience doesn't suffer if you stay free to play. And one thing I love about this one is going online and playing with friends, and every time you finish a battle series with them, it doesn't matter if you only have 10 minutes or a full hour, you're gonna have fun the whole time, and anytime I have a losing session, I'm always motivated to grind up the next character. Next up is Genshin Impact, and if you've tried this one before, but it's been a few years, don't scroll quickly, because they've actually put a ton of new updates and features. They're always bringing new things into the game, especially within the past year, to refresh and give a better playing experience for everyone. So if you haven't tried this one out yet, it's definitely worth your time, and if you have, but it's been a couple years, now's definitely the time to get back in. Genshin isn't a mobile game in the traditional sense because it packs that full console experience right to your phone. When it launched back in 2020, people genuinely couldn't believe what the team pulled off with mobile hardware. And here we are in 2026, and it just keeps getting better. The core gameplay loop in Genshin Impact consists of exploration mixed with character collection and combat. You spend your time climbing mountains, solving puzzles, fighting bosses, and pulling for new characters through the gacha system. Combat is action-based and built around combining different elements. And what keeps Genshin relevant for all these 5 years is the sheer scale to the game itself. A major Genshin update can consist of tens or hundreds of hours of story quests and even new countries. In fact, one example where the team listened to players is before there were some hated characters that people just didn't simply want to play. Then they created individual quests for these characters. You try those, you get the backstory, you see how they operate, and all of a sudden it's now a character that you like. One thing to note though, this isn't just like Brawl Stars, our previous game, where you just dive in and jump into the action. I mean, you can, but this one requires a lot more hours to figure out the story and really get the most out of this game. But if that's the type of game you're looking for, it is definitely for you. For instance, the main story alone can take you over 100 hours, and that's even before you touch the exploration, side quests, or endgame activities. That being said, the game is surprisingly flexible. You can treat it like a live service and check in daily, or you can disappear for months and come back to binge the new content they released. And the next one on our list might provide a bit of controversy if you haven't checked it out before, and that is Call of Duty Mobile. Now, in the beginning, this game brought the huge player counts because of the name Call of Duty. However, one thing that has been a pleasant surprise, they just didn't name drop Call of Duty and deliver a shooting game and kind of forget about it and try and let the name carry everything. In this title, they keep on listening to players and bringing more in to make it fun every time you play. So if you're the type of person that grew up playing shooters but want to try something on mobile, you can't go wrong with Call of Duty Mobile. Matches play out exactly how you'd expect if you've played any other Call of Duty game. You've got your standard team deathmatch, domination, and search and destroy. Matches last anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes depending on the mode, and the movement actually feels surprisingly responsive for a mobile game. You're sliding, aiming down sights, and calling in score streaks just like in your console versions. Call of Duty even managed the impossible feat of getting Warzone on mobile, and that's the main secret behind the franchise's longevity on mobile. There are constant updates and a massive variety of modes. You've got ranked if you want to climb the ladder, or just fun casual gaming. The learning curve here is tough though if you want to compete, but if you like that style and shooting games, it is definitely worth your time. The next title is a massive throwback to 2016, but they keep on bringing new patches, updates, and game modes to keep it more exciting. That is Pokemon Go. Now, I remember way back, I was living in Australia at the time. I was a bartender, so we got off at 2 a.m. And even though it was 2 in the morning when this game came out, it was so popular, I'd walk down the beach streets probably for 5 kilometers, and there was hundreds of other people from 2 to 5 a.m. doing the exact same thing. This one blew up like crazy. But is it still playable? Now it's 2026, 10 years later. And the answer is yes. If you haven't played this one in years, you'll get the core idea of the old gameplay loop, but they've added more modes to keep things fun and interesting. There's also new abilities and power-ups that you can learn to make the game even more captivating and competitive while playing others. The gameplay loop in Pokemon Go is simple. You just open up the app, see which Pokemon are nearby, catch them, spin Pokestops for more items, and maybe even battle at gyms or raid with other players. What makes Pokemon Go stand out in 2026 is how it's become part of people's daily routines. The game has continued to evolve and bring a fun, addictive element for everyone. For instance, if you're just walking to the bus or on a little bit of a commute, you can just pull out your phone, and instead of scrolling TikTok or Instagram for a bit, you actually have some fun with a mobile game in your city, checking out nearby landmarks and trying to capture the Pokemon or going on raids, all while you're doing that commute. And what's perfect about this, the game rewards consistency more than really long sessions, so you don't need to be spending a lot of time to get rewarded. Then for where we are now, there's new Mega Evolutions, Shadow Pokemon, research tasks, routes, and even more. But at the end of the day, if you enjoy Pokemon, this one is worth checking out. Then for our final mobile game, we have Clash Royale, and this one picked up steam in 2025, and now coming into 2026, if you like real-time strategy games where you're dropping cards onto a battlefield, you definitely need to check out this one. Here, you need to destroy your opponent's towers to win the match, and the game still has one of the most competitive scenes in mobile gaming, considering it did in fact release 10 years ago. The matches here are 3 to 5 minutes long, and before you go into it, you build a deck of 8 cards, each of which costs Elixir to play. But even though it's a card game, you're constantly making split-second decisions about when to attack, defend, or counter your opponent. The strategy in Clash Royale comes from knowing card interactions, what beats what, how to bait out counters, and when to commit Elixir to a push. It might sound simple, but it's really in-depth once you get into it and mastering combos and how to defeat your opponents. And you can see all these years later, it even picked up last year just because all the new things they're bringing to the game. There's always new balance, new character releases, and seasonal updates that shift the meta. One thing to note though, the competitive ladder here can be very brutal if you're first starting, so keep that in mind because people have been grinding for years. So let us know which one of these is your favorites, and give us a subscribe if you've made it this long in the video, or if you're looking for a totally different game to play, definitely head over to Funjible Games. There we've got an entire gaming library full of project founder interviews, articles, breaking news, and over 600 games for you to check out.